So here we've got multiplication and division. So we're going to split this into four videos, and they are the following. But please do make sure that you've done the initial quiz to start off, and make sure as well you practice your mental multiplication. For example, 7 times 9 equals 63. Knowing these mental multiplications quicker will really help us with this. So it's really important to practice that. Here we break it down into multiplication, decimal, and then division, and then decimal division. So it's really important that we take note here. I'm going to go through a couple of methods as well of how we can do this. So we're looking at 728 multiplied by 6. So step 1, we rewrite the question in columns. Number 1 on the top of the other, lining it the ones in 7 to 8 with the 1s and 6. This is really important. And this comes back to when we do addition and subtraction as well. We need to really make sure that we line up and not place values. Super important. Then we do step 2. So this means we're going to multiply each of the digits by 6, one at a time, working from right to left. So start with the smallest again. So this means we start with 6 times 8, which is 48. But what we need to do is we put a 4 in the tens, carry a 4 over. So we have 8 in the ones, and carry the 4 over. We then do 6 times 2, which is 12, which goes in the next column, because the actual calculation is 6 times 20. We're taking 20 from there. So what we're doing is we're adding the 4, so we're actually making it 160 here. So we're making this 160. This means we make this, we carry a 1 here, and a 6 here, and an 8. So we carry a 1 into the hundreds. And then we do. So here we've got up to, so we do 6 times 7, which is 42, but we make that 43 because we've got the 1 carried over. So it's a bit like 700 times 6, that gives us 4,200. We add 100 to that, so we get 4,362. We will also go through the box method on this as well. There's a couple of different methods, and we'll go through them in the community groups also. If you are struggling with this, please do not hesitate to come forward. We've got multiply 316 by 22. So the first thing we do is we multiply by 6 by 2. So we're doing, in a sense, we're doing 316 times 2 first, and then we're doing 316 times 20. So it's really important that we set this out. So this is our first line. We get 6 times 2, which is 12. So we put a 1, we carry a 1 under here into the tens. Then we do 2 times 1, which is 2, and that gives us 20. So we make that 30. 2 times 3 is 6, giving us 632. So that is essentially 2 times 316. Then we do 20 times that. And we put a 0 here because it's 20 times. Because here we're going into the tens. So we're doing 20 times 6, which is 120. So we put 0, 2, and then carry the 1. 20 times 10, or 2 times 1, we can even say, moving along, which gives us 2. So 2 add 1 is 3, which means we've got 6 there. So we've got 6,952 here. Please do not hesitate to have to shout out to the community if you do need help. I'm also going to produce videos on other methods as well that we can do. Do have a go at the quizzes also. So here we've got 543 times 14. So what we do here to set this one up, again, make sure you set it up in place value order. Really, really important, this. So we've got 4 times 3, which is 12. So we must carry the 1 under here for when we do it. So I'm going to write it out again and do it by the gradual process of that. So 4 times 3 is 2, carry the 1. 4 times 4 is 16, but it's like 4 times 40, so we make that 160, making that a 7 to carry over. Now we do 5 times 4, this gives us 21. And now we do 10 times 3, which is 30. We put the 0 in here because it's like 10, so it's 30. We always put that magic 0 in. Then we do 1 times 4, which is 4. And then we do 10 times 5, which is 5. We then have to add these up. So now we get 2. We get 0 here, 10. So we must understand our adding before we move on. Add that is 5. Add the 1 that's carried over, gives us 6. And then 5 add 2 is 7. So our answer is 7602. But we must understand how to add before we move on to this type of multiplication properly. Please do reach out to us if you need any help. So here what we do is we change these into whole numbers. We times this number by 100 and this one by 10. So overall we're multiplying by 1,000 more here. So essentially what we're doing is we're making these whole numbers, just to make it easy. So what we do is we write it out, and then we multiply this out. So you should get 3,472 when we multiply this out. So after this, because we multiplied by 1,000 originally, because it's 4.96 times 0.7, we have to divide this by 1,000. So when we divide by 1,000, our decimal point is here. When we divide by 10, we move our decimal point here. We divide by 100, we move it 2. By 1,000, we move it 3. So our answer is 3.472 for that one. If you are struggling with that, please do not hesitate to reach out. So here's an example of looking at it from ones, tens, hundreds. We do 32 times 14. we know that 2 times 4 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, so that's 128. Then we've got 320 when we do 10 times that. Add them together and we get 448. Any questions on that? Do reach out. So as explained earlier, what we need to do is we need to make, because we're timesing this out here, we need to divide by 10 3 times, which is essentially 1,000, moving our decimal point back here. If you do have questions on that, please do not hesitate to reach out, and do have a go at the quizzes. Also, now we're looking at division. So, the first thing we do is write the question with 392 inside the bus stop and 8 on the left. Writing out the 8 times table will help us with the division. So we can do that. So we know here we've got 0 eighths going 8, but then this is key as well, making sure, because we're looking at how many 8s fit in the hundreds. Now we're looking at how many 8s fit in the tens. But because 8 doesn't fit in the hundreds, we can't fit 8 in the hundreds. We're making more tens. We've got 39 tens now. So we need to see how many fit in 39 tens. And that's why it's really good to have the list, so you can just see quickly. It might seem like more of a grind to do it at the time, but doing that list can really, really help you do that. So here we know that 4 fit in, and we have 7 remaining. So we can put the 4 on top, and we know we've got 7 remaining, which makes it 72 ones, and 72 divided by 8 would give us 9, and that gives us 49 here. So we know that if we divide that, it gives us 49. If you do have any questions on that, please do not hesitate to reach out. We are doing group sessions. We can also give you coaching on that also as well. So in the next example, we're looking at decimal division. So it's really tough to divide by a decimal. So the first step is getting rid of the decimal. So in this case, we can multiply both numbers by 10, make it easier when we're dividing by the decimal. This is the difficult part here. We will go through more examples of this as well, and I will bring it up to more other content on this also, and group session work. So this is equal, and what's a really important one to look at is equivalent fractions. Don't quite understand this, do have a look at that video as well. So what we've done is we times it by 10, each of the numbers by 10. For example, if we have 10 divided by 1 is 10, 100 divided by 10 is 10, 1,000 divided by 100 is 10. Because when we divide, essentially dividing is seeing how many numbers we can fit in. We're looking at how many can be fitted into the video, into the number. So for example, we can fit 10 ones into 10, and 10 tens into 100, and 10 tens into 1,000. So it's really important to carry out this process. So now we follow the steps here, same steps. So what we do is we have our 4 outside the stop, and then we go through. So we see how many 4s fit in the thousands. None. How many, then we carry over. How many 4s fit into 2500s? So if we do our 4 times table, we've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So here we put a 6 and we have 1 left over because we count up to 24. So in a sense, what we can do is we can write 24 minus them, count down the 1 and carry it over. We can do that. And I will go through long division as well. Do come in for group sessions as well. I do encourage you to do that, because any questions you have, you can ask us those questions, and also with one-to-one coaching as well. So here we've got 4. So 4 times 4 gives you 16, which is 18 minus 16, which is 2, giving us gives us a 4 here, and then we know in the 20 is 5, so 645. If you do need help with that, please do not hesitate to give us a shout. Do pause, have a go at these questions in the quiz. If you do have trouble, do reach out to our community. We're here to support and help you move forward. Thanks for watching these videos and have a great